Why hello there, fellow green thumbs. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeers Brutal Vulcan, episode 54. Adding more farm monitoring for safety. Okay, so before I forget, let's just fern seed now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull like 30 fern seeds out for crop loss protection so I can bank them and then harvest just enough to fill all the trays. I'm not going to go beyond that. Did I turn the AC farm back on? Not yet. Good call. So now all our hydro trays are going to be sown once again. Meaning, unless we expand the greenhouse, which we might need to do once we really get a rocket program going. But it's our like maximum oxygen with a little bit of bread. One more row and we're done. Ta-da! Full farm. Wheat seeds are already seeding, but like, whatever. I got bread. I don't really need to worry about that right now. Alright, let's put the paint away and put the seeds away. So I just have, I forgot I had a 2-stack. But, this is seeds that I can start moving all of my seeds back here as like security for if I have crop loss, I can replace the seeds that I had die off. So I think that would be a good idea. It's just to make sure. Okay. Looking pretty good. Samurai, thank you for the resub. So we've had 5 minutes of storm. Alright. Now, with the remaining time, add failsafe to farm and Atmo spherics. So one of the things I want to do in the farm is to measure nitrogen and water, right? So we have pressure, we have temperature, we have CO2%, but I don't have nitrogen and water. So the CO2 reader here is, oh, actually it's in the farm. It's installed the wall. So let's go take a look at that real quick. And the reason for this project is so that I can start working on rockets and not have to worry about like my farm dying. Because if my farm dies, the thing that makes the rocket fuel dies with it. So we need a logic reader and a logic writer. So a reader to read the farm pipe analyzer for nitrogen, and then the writer to write to an LED screen for nitrogen. So let's get a reader, writer, and LED for nitrogen readout. So that'll be the first one I do. And I'll try to put it like, I don't know, somewhere close. What is the LED called? Onsole, I think. So gold, copper, iron. Oh, and, let's start pulling in fresh volatiles and CO2 from our new intakes, which is at 103, which is a lot better than 193. Big difference. Oh, I don't need this vent on me anymore either, do I? So... right there? For nitrogen? Works. Alright. Name schema. This was farm CO2 %, so this is going to be farm N2 %. Sweet. Is the logic for dumping and refilling waste heat still working? It was... so kind of no. So this is outflow logic. We stopped using the outflow logic. So it is not, I guess technically it's not working. But it doesn't need fixing right now. I'm not doing it. Okay. It's already green, but we are going to want to write a percentage to that. Now, the only thing about that is the logic writer is over here for it, which is on the different network. So, I'm going to need to remove this stuff, which allows us to flash the panel. And I'm going to need to move it onto the farming network, which, I have to figure out what that network is named. I think it's the airlock too, if I'm not mistaken. This is still part of the farming network. I'm 99% sure, but I'll double check. And then for this, we just need 2 IOs, so I'll just print up the IOs now. All right. In terms of checking the network, this is 650, the farm network, which is distinct from the mega network, which is pulling 4.2 to 4.6 kilowatts. Yeah, so I mean, I need to split the ACs or something off of this, probably. But that's not the project I'm working on now. So I think the farm is 64,650. And yeah, 64,650, 64,650. The reason this matters is so that I can quickly flash memory. Wait, where'd my other... So we're gonna do a logic reader and a logic writer. I don't need to reinvent the wheel, but where'd the other piece go? Did I not pick it up? I think I left it on the ground. Yeah, it's right there. All right, the LEDs. For a percent, it needs to be written mode 1. So this logic memory needs to be set to 1, and then the writer pointed at the nitrogen for 1. Just so that the LED screen displays correct data. Which I need to be on the other side of the airlock for. So 1, and then input is going to be just the logic memory that is unnamed. And output is going to be the farm N2%. And the variable will be mode. On, off, and this should be a percentage. And it is. Alright, that part's done. So... remove the temporary cabling. And remove the writer and reader, because or the writer and memory, because I don't need them here. And I'll plug them in back here. The intention is that anytime I need to like do this process, I have the writer and the memory like just available. So these don't do anything. I'm just leaving them off. All right, so that's now a percentage, and now we need to set up the logic for the writer and reader. And I wired it back up so that the airlock works. And I'm going to assume that I'm going to have even more logic required, so I'm just going to continue wiring to the left, because we're going to want to do water readouts once this is done too, so that I know if the farm's running out of water. Because that killed all my plants. Network. Dang it. Yeah, because we have 5.6 liters of water in there, but like we need that number displayed in the main base, not in the farm. Because if we get the number from the farm, we already know the farm's dead by that time. So following the name schema, this is the farm CO2% logic writer and the farm CO2% logic reader. So farm into percent reader, farm into percent writer. Input here is going to be the pipe analyzer, and the variable will be the ratio nitrogen, which is 23%. And then the writer, the input is going to be the reader, and then the output is going to be the LED screen and its setting. Right? It's setting, right? Yep. Done. So now we have a readout of the nitrogen percent in the farm because soybeans require nitrogen. So if nitrogen gets low, it gets fixed. Yeah, sweet. So it's 71 CO2 and 23 nitrogen. Done. The last one, the next one is going to be the water. To be able to read the water, and then eventually I'm going to want a readout for CO2, volatiles, oxygen as well, because those are important gases that I want to keep track of, and probably the logic to top them up as well, because I want to make sure that the base automatically controls how much volatiles and CO2. I don't need to have a minimum. I need to basically continue filtering until I hit a maximum, and then also put alarms. But that's, again, a totally separate project that I'm not working on right now. So let's focus up and make sure that we're doing the water readouts. So for the water readouts, we need a digital pipe reader for liquids. So that would be a liquid pipe analyzer. Because I'm not going to be able to know how much water I have available to me unless I'm, you know, actually reading it and putting that data on the network. There is no exposed liquid pipe at the moment that I can hook this up to. So I'm probably going to need some extra liquid pipes just to make it longer. That's not exactly true. But, where's my, oh, my steels? Yeah. I'll get a few extra liquid pipes just so that I can expose the, it'll be easier to hook up. Well, let's go with 3. Hopefully that's enough. I could do it right here. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, extra pipes that I do not need. And now, I have steam in here. I don't have like a steam. It would be pretty easy to prevent steam buildup. I just don't have a system for that, and it also doesn't really matter because steam doesn't hurt the plants. It's weird that there's steam at 24 Celsius at 13 kPa, but whatever. That's not part of this. So now this liquid pipe analyzer. What was the other one called? Farm air pipe analyzer. So this should be the farm liquid pipe analyzer, so I'll just add the word farm to the front. I do not believe the liquid temp needs to be read, so I really only need the volume. The reason I don't need the temp is like, that's not a factor that's going to be an issue. So I'm going to want a console for farm liquid pressure. And then they need a reader and writer. And this is going to be just a regular old console for... So in these, if you're wondering, is gas display. I'm not sure... I'm not 100% sure gas display will work with a liquid, but we'll see. It might be fine. I'll know in a minute, I suppose. Alright, so silicon to get glass. Oh, also the plug is... Which side is the plug on? plug down below? Where is the... Yeah, the plug's down below. I think. Yep, it's there. Alright, I'll have to wire that up from inside the farm. That's fine. Let's get a few more cables then. And then 2 IOs. Now, if you're wondering about like dealing with the steam, there is valves for that. There's the pressurant valve and the expansion valve, or condensation valve and expansion valve, and I could easily deal with the steam by setting up expansion and condensation valves here, because the steam is coming off of the pipe network we have already, because I'm not managing the steam. So as you can see, there's steam here that I don't have expansion and condensation valves hooked up to allow it to cycle back into the condensation loop and then come back out correct. Basically, I know how to fix it. I don't care because it's not hurting anything. So that's why I haven't touched it. All right. Let's get this hooked up. And this should just be another reader and writer. Just like before. Logic reader, logic writer. Now the console's hooked up correctly. And now there might be need for more like logic on this wall. So I'll just add the cables for future potential logic. Might as well. So this is going to be the water pressure logic reader, water pressure logic writer, and water pressure console. Logic reader input is the farm liquid pipe analyzer. And the variable we're going to take is pressure. So 13 pressure. It can do pressure, temperature.
Hunger caution.
Well, ratio water's not all that helpful. Because it's just going to be like 100%. Yeah. Or like 83% because some of it's gas. Oh, I could also do volume. Oh, no, that's total volume. Total moles? I could also measure it in moles, I suppose. I could do pressure or moles. So right now there's like 6 liters. Wait, why is there... I think I'll do... It's a good question of like what exactly I want as a volume of liquid. Yeah, 5.5. Volume of liquid, I would say, is the liter of liquid. That would be really the volume of liquid is the value I want. And then the writer is going to be... so the input is going to be the water pressure logic reader. Stupid, get tablet off. So the water pressure logic reader, and then the output is going to be water pressure, and then I don't know. I don't even think that works this way. Here, let's turn that off and check out the console. I think what I need to do is I need to do it like an LED, not a console. Because the gas display is probably not going to work this way, but we'll see. Because the gas display wouldn't even need the inputs like this. So, set to configure. This is going to be the pressure of... Yeah, this isn't going to work. Oh, wait, what? Maybe it will. Okay, that's not the data we want. So, I'm not going to do it in console form. I want it in liters, because that's... I don't need to do, like, brain conversion. So, gas display, you're done. This glass I'll put away. And then what I'll do is a small LED display here of farm liquid water. And we'll need to flash some data on it. So I should have left this intact. Oh well. Live and learn. Okay, data. LEDs. One, we want color. So... Oh, is it not gonna... So, I want liters. So, mode 12. Right, because we're measuring the water in liters. So... 12... And... Input to this is just the unnamed memory. Output is the farm liquid water and mode. Now it's 0 liters because it's not actually hooked up yet. And then the LED colors are what? What is the color? How do I find the color codes? Why isn't it in here? Oops. Should be in here if I click into color. Okay, blue is 0. Well, that's pretty simple. So now, set the memory to 0. And the variable for this is going to be color. Okay, or not. Why didn't that work? Why is it state 12? Wait, excuse me? Logic memory is... What? Alright, this memory is 0. And this is saying input is the memory, output is the farm liquid water color. This should work. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, set color needed mode 5? No, yeah, we want color 0, blue. I'm also going to need to eat and drink in a second. And this is called the farm liquid water? Yeah, it's being stupid. Oh, hold on. It's just set to none. And it's still being stupid. Okay, I'm going to tend to my needs and then troubleshoot this.
Hydration critical.
Because, yeah, I'm getting hydration critical. Hello, Janice. Okay, needs are met. So we set the leader, and we want to set color. Color is a read-write, and color should be able to set to 1 for blue. Yeah, no, I don't really know why it's not working. I'll try to set a different color out of, like, a test. Yeah, okay, it's just blue somehow doesn't work. Because I can set gray. Okay, blue magically works now. I don't know what I did. Nothing. Literally nothing is different. I might want light blue, though, because, like, that color blue is kind of hard to read. Nah, I guess it's fine. There isn't, like, a light blue. There isn't a color that I'd like. Yeah, literally nothing changed. It just started working. Like, whatever, game. Just, I hate you sometimes. It's one of those just like, I walked away and it started working better. Yep. Okay, so there's our water, and now we just need to hook it up to actually read the value. So, input is water pressure logic reader, output is farm liquid percent, which is really not a percent anymore. Farm liquid water, and then the setting. And if all's right, it should say like 5.4 liters. I don't know about decimals. Oh yeah, 5.4 liters. Woohoo! Done. So now we know that it's 23% nitrogen, 71 CO2 at 107 kPa at 24 Celsius with 5.4 liters of water. So the farm is now being monitored. There's no alarms, but like as long as I periodically notice these things, that's a huge boon, because I did not notice that it was out of water before and all the plants died, and like now there's a system to sort of warn me of that, which is a massive improvement. I mean, if I was to continue working on it, which I won't, but if I was to continue working on it, I would hook up like alarm bells, you know, and signals and stuff to be like, yo, something's wrong. You know, we're like setting up conditions where if any of these are below a certain threshold, it like throws alarms, like below 5% or below like 3 liters or something like that. But regardless, it functions, and that's what matters. Now, I think the very last thing I want to do before I end stream is top up the water again. Put more water in it, so next stream I don't have to worry about it. Because if this series is to continue, the plan is to set some monitoring for the atmospherics, some automation for the atmospherics to make sure that I keep my available CO2 and not the available CO2 and the available volatiles up to a certain level, so that I always have enough for like fuel making. And then to start making rockets. The fuel dump line really hasn't gotten any hotter, but it doesn't cycle very effectively. I think there is no more water. Yeah, there's no more water available to even push into this. So I would need to make another batch of water, but you know, that can wait. Now that we have a good amount of oxygen, it's like not a big problem because the farm's back and improved. So now there is 10 liters of water available, and all farm plots are sown and thriving, and we have logic monitoring it all so that nothing stupid can happen, like Well, not super stupid. I can still screw things up, but like I've made it harder for myself to screw things up. So to recap what we managed this stream, because there's not like an obvious visual difference, but we created a new coolant loop for volatiles and CO2. So the volatiles and the CO2 that we pull into the base aren't superheated. And apparently some of these ACs probably brownout tripped. We then rerouted the waistline and colored it all. So we have the base coolant loop, which is in khaki, the base heat dump loop, which is in brown, and the other loop for the intake of volatile and CO2 is still orange. So yeah, we routed that. We made all of the super alloys. So we now have, I'm just checking pressures here while I talk. We now have every super alloy made. We made a hard suit. We made a sensor glasses. We made the ore scanner, and a considerable amount of progress in order to have like a rugged base ready to deal with rocket making. Because that was sort of the plan. You know, that's really the last big thing that I've yet to touch upon in this series is building rockets. And I knew that if I didn't have a base that could manage its own like gases and temperatures, that things would get neglected to the point of death. So we sort of death-proofed the base a bit. And this is where I'm going to leave off for today. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeers Brutal Vulcan, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel. I made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow Vulcanites.